Thriving Thursday. We are so grateful to have you guys here. Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. If you have not been on our calls and you have no idea what it's about, welcome. This call is not only for you to start your day with some knowledge and expertise, but it is also to start the day with some inspiration, with some positivity. See, here's one thing. I used to look forward to these calls very early on in my career in business about 7-8 years ago, because I understood that how I started the day was going to set the tone for the day. And a lot of times we find ourselves in situations and conversations in places, and I'm like, how you started your day? Did you put your armor on, right? And this is part of putting on your armor. And I'm grateful to have this young woman on here. It's just interesting how God just puts people in your life and moments that you least expect it. And what started as a business relationship and started as someone that we were co-creating legacies around the world and co-creating businesses and success. It turned into sisterhood. It turns into sisterhood, and sisterhood is definitely strength in every season. And this woman has been able to just show up and show out in my life in moments that I've least expected it. And I'm just very, very grateful for her. I'm grateful for her heart. I'm grateful for her humility. I'm grateful for her character, because it's a lot of people that talk a good game, but when it comes down to it, what you show, what you exemplify, right? And listen, I'm just grateful. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna bring her on here. But she's a single boss mom. She has a corporate background. She's a go-getter, right? When you think of Miss Delisea Powell, you already know she is a grinder. She is a leader of leaders. She just came back from Forging of Champions in Dubai. And I have no doubt that she was going to get elected as a trainer. She is our newest certified trainer, our newest platinum agent, getting champion that in Dubai. I see you. Welcome, Miss Delisea Powell. Are you on the line, Queen?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's been a blessed morning. I'm grateful for just being here, like a lot of people just said. So it's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing.
Yes, ma'am. You're breaking in and out a little bit. I don't know if that's my internet, but we're gonna get through this. Devil was a lie. Not today. Not today.
Let me know. If not, I can switch phones. So just let me know.
We good. So tell the world a little bit about who Miss Delisea Powell is. Introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about you, a little bit about your background, your story.
Gotcha. So am I coming through clear? I had to throw that little European voice in there. So first and foremost, good morning. Good morning, everybody that made the call this morning. Thank you guys for being up. Thank you for being amazing. It is actually 5:00, I think, here in Phoenix, Texas. So it is amazing for you guys that get up in the morning early to be on calls like this. Like, shout out to y'all for that. Before I even get off into this call, I got to give honor to God, because he is an amazing person in my life. And he has really been blessing me through all of what is going on in my life. Secondly, today is my best friend's birthday, and she's celebrating it in heaven. So I definitely had to give shout out to her, because a lot of my run is dedicated to her. I feel as though I travel a lot. You just mentioned that I went to Dubai. I travel a lot, and I feel like she's always that angel sitting next to me. So shout out to Satori Richardson. I love you. But my name is Delisea Powell. I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, born and raised, graduated from high school, top of my class, graduated from the University of Alabama in 2010, got a job in the banking industry. I was that person that was taught to go to school, get good grades, go get a good job. My mom was a very strong person. Growing up, I had 5 brothers, 2 sisters. And so I was raised a little tough. So when I got into the banking industry, it was not what my mom thought I would get into. Most people thought I would be into something totally different. So banking was just something that was cool for me, because I love math. I love working with numbers. You give me a cadence or a sequence of numbers too much, and then I got them, and it's just how it was. So, like I said, I was taught to go to school, get good grades, go get a good job. And that's what I was doing. I worked my way up to corporate. I was living in Tuscaloosa at the time, worked my way up to corporate, moved to Texas in 2015. And, I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was living the lifestyle, but I found out real quick that was not it. Going from working in Tuscaloosa, rent was like $525 to moving to Texas where rent went up to $1,000. The increase went up, but so did the income. And so I found myself back in debt. And as a single mom, shout out to my son. I don't know how I didn't do that one. Shout out to my son, James Massey Jr. As a single mom, my goals changed at a young age. At the age of 19, I got pregnant in college. 20, I had my son, and it grew me up. I always say, I don't know how I got pregnant, but God knew that I needed a change in my life. And thank God that my son came into my life because he completely changed my life. And, working as a single mom, I found my way. Like, I had to do what I had to do. My mom raised 7 kids, and I never understood how she kept it together the way that she did. So for me to have one, it just always pushed me to go out there and be the greatest person that I could be, the best mom that I could be. And so working 3 jobs, not really being able to see my son, not really being able to do everything that I thought I would be able to do at that level, it changed a lot about me, and it really pushed me to go harder than I had ever went in my life. And so got introduced to this industry of network marketing back in March of 2017. And to be honest, I was not the person that was so driven to do the business. I was the person that just wanted to go have some fun and travel the world. Didn't even have the money to get started, just really not thinking the right thoughts, and just really just giving it a leap of faith. And thank God that I did, because it's completely changed my life. So I won't go into too many. I know you got questions. So that's kind of just a little bit about
Delisea. Everybody's over here blowing up the chat. Thank you for sharing. Now, something that you said, in your story that was just very powerful. And, you moved around a lot. You're always on the go. But something that you said was that you just stepped out in faith. And I feel like that is very important. And a lot of people shy away from talking about their faith in entrepreneurship because, they never want to, we don't necessarily have to talk about politics and religion, right? Those are things that people don't like to talk about. But it's the Breakfast Club call, right? We keep it real here. And I say that it's always okay to talk about your faith when you're not talking down on anybody else's. And that's what I think that people haven't. How important has your faith been on your journey of entrepreneurship, on your journey of motherhood?
Well, to be totally honest with you, Pam, I got to go back to my childhood. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis when I was 7 years old. Most people don't even know what that is at the age of 7. I watched my grandma, move around, right, and they told me that, that was something that was common in people that were above my age. And me to deal with that at a young age, like my faith was everything. At the age of 7, I actually, they went down to altar prayer during that time frame, and everybody got their eyes closed. I didn't know what baptism was, but I knew I wanted to be baptized because I wanted to get in the water. So while everybody's eyes was closed, I went up. And when everybody's head was up, I was at the front. I wanted to be baptized. And it was just then though, God always moved in me. I have a little brother that's right younger than me. I'm 33 years old. He's 32. Mom used to always say all the time, like he used to see things, he used to hear things. And I used to always tell him like those are just words from God. And, as a kid, we didn't really understand things like that. And it used to be scary. It used to be real scary because like he would predict things that happen and you'd be like, what the, and so we grew up on Christian values. We grew up in the church. We grew up going to Sunday school every Sunday, church all day Sundays, church throughout the week. Like that was those stories you hear parents took you to church every single day. My grandma had us in church every single day, yo. And so we had no choice but to listen to God. We had no choice but to honor God. And, I don't press my beliefs out on anybody because I do believe that you have the right to be free. You have the right to free whatever you want to be and know who you want to know. But, in my life, God was always first as a kid. And if you train up a child in the way that they should go, then when they get older, they will follow. And I was that child. I was the person that didn't want to be in trouble. I wanted to follow God. I wanted to get to heaven. I wanted to have everything of abundance. So I knew that if I followed the right people, in this case, follow God, I would get everything that I wanted. And so it's just like the same in this business. You follow the right people that have the things that you want and it's going to lead you in the way that you should go, then you're going to get everything that you're promised to have. So it's kind of the same. I can relate that to God to so many different things and aspects in my life. But, having a child at a young age, that was one of the toughest challenges ever. You know, I was in college, off in school. So many people doubted me, but it was so crazy because the people that were doubting me were the people that told me to be a big believer in God, and I can do everything Christ that strengthens me. And so that's what I took heed to. You know, when people told me that I couldn't do something, that's like the worst thing you can ever tell Delisea Powell. Don't ever tell me what I cannot do, unless it's like flying. And I'm gonna probably get up there and try to do it, you know. So don't tell me what I won't do. And I just always keep God first. Like he's the head of my life every morning. Before this call, as early as it was, I still made sure that I got my prayer life. You know, I still make sure that I talk to God before everything because he has always been the head of my life. So yeah, when I walked away from my job, you know, I was a director in our former company, World Ventures. Shout out to it because it was the birth of me. It was the birth of my life in network marketing. Gave me the opportunity and the vision to walk away from my job and give me that vision of freedom. And so I was a director. Wasn't really making director money at the time. But I just had that belief that if people could do this, I could do it too. And it was God. I remember the day I prayed to God before I put my 2 weeks notice in, cried the whole time that I was giving it to my manager. But I just prayed. And Lord knows throughout this whole pandemic, you know, everything that's been happening, the transition from company to company, he's made a way. And I can tell you, he's really, really made a way. I would be a lot louder, but I'm in someone's house and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. But God really made a way through this transition. So if you don't believe, believe.
Yes, ma'am. Faith is definitely the foundation. I love that. I love that. You know, I always say that my grandma and my grandpa and my mom, you know, is those prayers that are going to cover us forever. And a lot of times we don't know what we don't know. And what's worse is that we think we know. And it's as we enter adulthood and as we experience life, we're like, God, I know you up there somewhere, right? And the faith is the foundation, and faith is really our strength. And I always appreciate that about you. So thank you so much for sharing. And it's just going to bring me in right into my next question. You recently just came back from Forging of Champions, and if you don't know what that is one of our leadership trainings. It's really, you know, first of all, that was our first international event in over a year, right, since the pandemic. And I'm just so excited, and I'm grateful that you were able to go because it was like an extension of us there, right? Every time I saw you, like, it's funny because I was like on FaceTime with Matt and I heard you in the background and I was just like, give her a hug for me. But man, I heard you killed it. But we're going to get into that in a second. Congratulations again on being chosen as our newest certified trainer.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Very well earned and deserved. So I want you to talk about how was that experience in Dubai. So Forging of Champions is a leadership training, it's a wealth training, it's a mindset training, it's international audience. Talk about that. How was that?
Yo, I really hate that it's 5 o'clock in the morning here because y'all, I got so much energy now. You just gave me so much more energy. Oh my God. I will tell you, if you have never been to an international training, it's worth every bit of it. Like it is worth every single dime spent in Dubai. If you know me, you know I joined this company to travel. My number one bucket list place was Dubai. This past January, I was actually able to go to Dubai, and I didn't get a chance to experience Dubai the way that I wanted to experience Dubai because I was still in leadership mode. You know, I'm the person that I don't take business when I take business out of vacation because this is a lifestyle club. And I didn't get a chance to experience Dubai, but when I walked stage as a gold agent at Elevate, I knew that I was going to become a trainer. Like my goal when I first got started, you know, and really going in World Ventures was being honest to become a trainer. I wanted to get to marketing director to become a trainer. And when they said platinum was it was the start of becoming a trainer, that was the goal. Like I had to get to platinum, and it wasn't going to be just me. It had to be me and my group and so many other people that contributed to this success. So being a trainer was something that was super important to me. It's like a dream. Like some people start out, the first thing in mind is Crown Royale. that's of course a goal, but my first goal was to become a trainer, because then I would be able to walk and talk and learn the language. I would be able to be in the room that a lot of people have not been in. And at the same time, it gave me one of my biggest goals. Growing up, I always wanted to speak on international stages. So to be able to go to training school and be elected as a trainer on an international stage was really, really big to me. Last year, give me just a little backstory. Last year, when I became a marketing director, I remember having a talk with one of my mentors, and he told me, trainer school will be in an international place, and I could go there, get the experience, and come back to the United States and go to boot camp. Of course, go to training school, but of course, COVID happened, so we couldn't do that. So it was ironically that I still ended up on an international stage training for the first time. And she mentioned Matt Morris. When I got there, if you know me, my love for Sasha and Governor. My mentor, the biggest influence, when I was running towards director, and Starvos is actually another. And so we were sitting at the table. He walked up. Matt Morris knew how much I was so inspired by Stavros. He went behind talking, and it was just a really cool experience how we got a chance to meet. And, Stavros actually gave me his number, y'all. That's big, 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 big deal. That's big, big deal. And, the whole week we had so much fun. I'm talking about, I really got a chance to learn, the idea of one big family, not just here in the United States, on another scale, because I was the only representative minus one other lady who was in secret. Her name is Abby, from the United States. And I got so many messages like, hey, you better rep for the United States. And I'm like, bro, that's easy. That's easy. And, as I sat in the stands throughout this event, oh my God, the energy is different. The United States training, I've been to multiple ones. We get down, they get down. And they get down on an international level. It's languages from everywhere. It's crazy. The atmosphere is different. And, I got a chance to really get a chance to meet and talk to a lot of people from Africa, from Cyprus, Romania. They're speaking in languages I don't even understand. But at the same time, it was just the experience. Just being inside of that room was different, the energy. But being able to connect with people like Matt Morris, being able to talk to people like Mustafa, got a chance to share a safari tour with these guys. Matt Morris, Scared of the Doombug. It was amazing to be amongst these people and just to really just feel that brother sisterhood. So, trainer school was definitely off the rip. Marcus Sutter, our director of training, is phenomenal. Oh my God. To hear him, more intimate levels, oh my God, it was different. It was definitely worth the wait. It was definitely worth getting to. So if you are whatever rank in this company and you have not achieved the level of platinum, I would definitely tell you, just to get inside of training school, to be able to learn from Marcus Sutter on a different level is definitely worth it. So got a chance to be elected as a trainer. It was fun. It was definitely fun. I would tell you, if you are a natural, be a natural. Don't go in there trying to be like somebody you're not, because I was just being me. I brought energy that I bring to this call every Thursday. It was the same person. It was just doing the things that I've been doing anyways. When you become a trainer, it's not, oh my God, I gotta be, no, you just need to be who you are. And if you're doing the things that you need to do in your business, then when you get to trainer school, it's a piece of cake. They're going to teach you another level of how to talk and things like that. But just me being me is how I got on that stage. And I would tell anybody on this call, be who you are. Be authentically you. Don't be someone else. You were made to be you. No one else can walk your shoes. No one else has your DNA. No one else has anything that you have. It's all in you. And when you let that out of you, it's the energy. I can't tell y'all listening to the video that I saw, me speaking, I'm just like, that was just me. I didn't do anything extra. That was just me. And everybody's like, oh my God, it was phenomenal. I'm just like, that's me. So if you are a phenomenal person, it's gonna just come out. So yeah, Pam, I'm super excited. I'm really holding in the excitement now.
I know you're in somebody's house, so I'm not gonna be extra, because I sent you the craziest voice notes, and I was like, I should have sent a disclosure to wherever she was standing, not to play that voice note unless it was okay to be extra loud. Like, I was just so excited. And I remember having breakfast that morning, and I was like, it was a random conversation. And as soon as I got your message, I had to step away, and I was like going crazy. And it was just a genuine excitement because I'm just so grateful that you get to be you. I get to be me. Everybody on this call, everybody that's not on this call, we get paid here to be the best version of ourselves, not the best version of anybody else, the best version of you. And that's why I wanted you to share that, because a lot of times we shy away from going to international places, just like people shy away from traveling because of the unknown, because of the unexpected. But it is in those unexpected moments where life's greatest blessings are. It is when your comfort zone ends that comfortability on an entirely different spectrum than what you've ever imagined begins. And I love that. I love that. Congratulations again to you. Congrats. And yes, I agree. Marcusetta is different. Marcusetta is the head of our international training. And if you're just brand new on this call and you're like, what training are they talking about? We have a training coming up called Boot Camp. And why it is called Boot Camp is because before your pockets can grow, before your bank account can grow, before your business can grow, your mindset has to grow. You have to grow as a person. I have one of my best friends, Pilar, and she has received over 10 promotions, if not more than that, in the last 6-7 years, just because she was around the right people, just because she was doing the work on the inside. It has been reflecting on the outside. So why do I say that as an example? Because a lot of times we think training is just for you to get trained on this business, but I'm going to tell you, training is for you to become the best version of you. And the moment you think you have arrived, you're on your way right back. You're on your way back, period. And what I love about our training systems, what I love about the energy, the people, the training, the leadership is that you have people winning from all different walks of life. You have people that are teaching you from each and every area of life. You have people that are impacting and serving, and there is a spot for everyone. So if you're that person that's like, man, I would love to know what that's like, I would love to experience it, talk to the person that's on this call, that brought you on this call. Talk to the person that invited you. Talk to the person that got you started, right? We call them uplines or mentors, but talk to them about it, because you deserve to be at boot camp. You deserve to end 2021 winning, no matter the circumstance, no matter the obstacles that you've been through, no matter the storms that you're sailing through right now. You deserve that. You deserve that. Behind me is one of my favorites that says, in order to be irreplaceable, one must be different, by Coco Chanel, right? And another one of my favorites, right, always is the Bible, is be still and know that I am God. And it's just interesting because, you know, knowing whose you are will put you in places that you did not expect. And it gives you the tenacity, but it gives you that willpower and that extra courage that you need to step up and show out. And I believe that everybody on here has a story to be told. And the more that we hesitate to get through these ranks, the more that we hesitate to be at different levels and be in different circles, the more that you're hesitating to serve somebody else, the more that you're hesitating to be a light to somebody else. There's somebody right now contemplating suicide because their best friend passed away. There's somebody right now contemplating not being here or not thinking they're enough because they're a single parent. There's someone right now that is going through one of the worst times in their life, and they just got courage. They just got encouragement from this call. Imagine when you're on stage. Imagine when you are on stage, impacting people. A lot of the times we think of what we're going through is for us, but it's what God is doing through us. So I definitely believe, and I definitely am here to tell you that boot camp, all roads lead to boot camp, the weekend of July 23rd. Thank you, Sarita, for putting it in the chat. So I want you to talk to me about how imperative is training, Delisea? How imperative is training? How has it been instrumental to you, to your growth, to your leadership, to your business, to you as a mom, to you as a woman?
Oh my God.
Talk about
So
that.
so first and foremost, Wendy Johnson, I just saw that you said this is going to be your first live event. Boot camp was my first event. And yo, I would tell you, boot camp changed my life. I was in JRTC growing up in high school. I didn't want to go to the military because I had college scholarships everywhere else in multiple different things, and I didn't want to give my life to the military. And so, but one thing I will tell you is that being in JRTC, it gave me a lot of bearing. It gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me a lot of integrity. It taught me character. I went to an international high school where, you know, it was diverse. And our colonel, shout out to Colonel Gardner, shout out to Sergeant Major Sergeant Major Darrell Williams, as well as our Sergeant Mac. His name was Delmas McCrindle. They taught me a lot of things growing up. And as teachers and instructors, they were all men, but they taught us values that we would have in life long term. And, you know, I always tell people, you know, shout out to people that go through the military, anybody that has been in the military, like you have to be a different breed. Like Pam just said, you have to be a different breed to do the military because it's not easy. And being in JRTC, like I said, it taught us a lot of bearing. It gave me the characteristics that I still hold today. And, you know, when I first heard about training, you know, I missed my first training. I'll tell you guys that. Let me go back. I missed my first training. It would have been the United Training in Dallas, Texas, where Sasha Governor spoke. I always got to throw that in there. Sasha Governor spoke, and it was over 25,000 people in the arena. And I was only 2 hours away from that event. I live in the Woodlands, Texas. The event was in Dallas, Texas. You know, they told me about training, but training wasn't really promoted to me. You know, it wasn't really, I didn't understand the importance of training. I just heard that I had to go to training, I had to pay money. I was already broke in the mindset. So I didn't want to go pay money to go learn from anybody. I didn't see the value. So if you're on this call, I would tell you, one of the biggest things that training can do, it can change your life. So if you're in this business to change your life, that's one of the reasons to get the training. Now, why is it going to change your life? You got to get there to understand that. Because for me, I really just saw it as an opportunity to just go and be amongst more people. But when I did make a decision to go to the next training, it was because I saw what I saw from everybody online. They were having fun. They were in this big arena. It was just different. Like Pam saying, the word different is going to come out so much because it was just different. And so I got to my first event. I didn't go alone. I had two girls that joined our organization. And one of which is, her name is Brittany Simmons. She's a silver agent in the company. She actually took some real sacrifice to get started. And so she didn't have the money to actually get to training. So I had to cancel a flight. I had to drive from Houston, Texas to Mobile, Alabama to pick her up and drive all the way to Miami, Florida for that event. I have another young lady, her name is Vanika Williams. She's a bronze agent in the company. She actually made some sacrifices to get to that event too. She wasn't even a rep. She was just a customer, but she just wanted to be around because she heard what was going down. And so she missed the flight. We had to end up going to pick her up out of Fort Lauderdale all to get to Miami. And it was not the easiest trip. But when we got there, it was like well worth every single sacrifice, every single hour of driving. And it changed my life. A lot of things happened at boot camp. I got a chance to see a lot. I made a decision at boot camp that I was gonna literally go past everybody that was in my organization above me. And that was like the red in me. I joined this business, I was blue. I was blue, yellow. My colors flipped that event because now I had a reason. Training gave me a reason to be better. I ended up hearing Keith Brown, who was an international marketing director at the time. He said that you could pass your sponsor. I needed to hear key things like that. And it gave me just a different drive. You know, I am red. I'm very dysfunctional at times as well. So don't catch me on the other side sometimes. But it just really gave me a different vision. And I tell you, I met Jay Peso. I came into this business, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, I'm sorry, if you don't know who Jay Peso is, he's a beast. Go find out. I know a lot of you guys, you find different people in the business that you listen to. But when I first came in, I listened to Jay Peso. It was just like God attracted me to Jay Peso. He knew that I would be a little mini Jay Peso. And so I was just listening to him. I saw him at that event. And he came up to me, and, selfies are in for me. If you ever see me, I take a lot of selfies. When Jay Peso took selfie to me, I'm telling you, we doing duck lips, like we having fun. I'm like, yo, this man is so cool. Just being able to be around the people that you are admiring at the time, and to talk to them, to see that they're real people. A lot of people get in this business, and you look at the top leaders in the company, and you're like, dang, I wonder if I can ever get there. Well, they're real people that did real things to get there. You just got to go and get the same confidence. And being around those type of people, I learned that training puts you in a room around people that you gotta strive to be like. Not be like, but be alike. And that's what training did for me. It gave me the vision that I needed. I heard a story about a guy who was atheist, who changed his life and he became Christian. That was one of the most powerful stories I could have heard in that whole arena that day. Because prior to that, 2 weeks before at my job, I had a scripture, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning, on my tagline, on my email. And one of the executives that I was emailing at the time wrote me a message back, didn't respond to the question that I had, but she responded to tell me that I needed to take that off because it was offensive to people who did not believe in God. And it was so offensive to me because I believe in God. And the message that I sent back, if you know me, you come for me, I'm coming back. I sent her a message back, just letting her know, hey, look, I understand and I will take this off out of respect for the company. But this is also offensive to someone who does. And hearing this man talk about how God changed his life, I knew I was in the right place at the right time with the right people. Our former owner, founder, Wayne Nugent, was big on stressing his beliefs in God. And I just felt like I was in the right area with the right people, because these were people that were honoring God first and business second. And so, like I said, training, it changed my life in multiple different ways. I don't know how it's going to change your life. I don't know how you get into that event is going to change you. But one thing I know for me is that it gave me a different type of belief. It gave me a different type of drive. It showed me that I had people around me that truly wanted to see me win. And I knew that it gave me just really a determination to go out there and be better than I ever was. I had never seen a training system like our training system. I had never been in a room like the room I was in. And to be in a Heat arena, selling out the arena, and LeBron James couldn't. I'm a Bulls fan. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. That was big, for me. So on multiple different reasons, I tell you guys, if you're on this line and you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to see how you're going to get to training, figure it out. Everything is figure outable. Figure it out. Whether you got to go borrow something from this person or something from that person, from this bill, from that bill, if you really want to make it happen, make it happen. I don't know what the situations are in life. I'll share this about training as well. Batiara Marvin is a platinum agent in a company, in our former company. She was an international marketing director. I got a chance to talk to her at training this weekend, and to know that she spent over $6,000 to get to Dubai was like crazy. And I'll tell you guys, to be honest, that's Club Secret membership. If you don't have the Club Secret membership,
run that back. Run that back.
Got you.
How much? She invested how much in her future? Run that back.
$6,000 US. But the thing is that, y'all, she's from Tahiti. She's not making US currency. Well, she's making US currency, but not from the United States. So $6,000 to get the training. The crazy thing was, all I paid was less than $1,000 to get to Dubai with that Club Secret membership. So if you don't have it, go get that. $6,000 versus me spending $1,000. I was on the stage when she was talking. I was just like, wow. Like, we've heard the stories, and if you don't know her story, she's definitely someone to go listen to. She's made countless sacrifices to be at training. So just a story like that could change the way that you think about things. If you're sitting at the training, you're like, man, I spent a couple $200, $300 and I ain't have it. You hear somebody say they spent $6,000, it changes your mindset. Because even as a person that's been in this training system, I'm still sitting there like, she spent $6,000. How many of you guys on this call would have spent $6,000 to go to training? Be real. Like, how many of you guys spend that to do the things that you want to do in life, though? Be real. So if you're on the call and you're not understanding the importance of training at that point, think about she spent $6,000 to go. But let me give you a backstory. See, there are some people that weren't able to go to that training, and it wasn't because of the income. You just had a blue diamond. Sachin Governor just hit blue diamond. His sister, Priyanka, platinum. And there's so many people out of South Africa, Nigeria, that could not attend training because they were banned from Dubai. You guys can fly to Orlando, no problem. You don't even need a COVID test. You don't even need a COVID test. You can fly to Orlando, no problem, here in the United States. Some of you can drive that trip. If push come to shove, I would drive to Orlando to make sure that I'm in that room. But you have people that wanted to be at that event, that lived through my social media, that could not be because they were banned to go into Dubai. So if you are an agent on this line, even if you aren't an agent on this line, I have a friend on the line, her name is Lanye. She has customers coming to events. In the last event, she had a customer come and that girl went full out, literally all in. Stephanie Paul, shout out to her. If you're a person on this line and you hear my voice and you're not registered for boot camp, you shorten yourself. I don't understand the point of being on these calls. You're shorting yourself. Get registered. And on top of that, make the sacrifice to be in that room, because that room can change the way your circumstances are. If you're sitting up there and you're talking about, I don't have the money, whatever the case may be, whatever excuse you're using, because it's just a planned out lie that you've already put in your head, stop it. Get to that event. Borrow the money. We use Cash App for everything else. Go throw Cash App out there. See, get the money, y'all. Because I promise you, if you want to be on a stage blessing the masses, I ain't gonna just say speaking, I'm saying blessing the masses, you gotta get to training. You gotta be trained. You gotta know the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, and that's where I got them from. So that's my story on training, y'all. If you don't understand it from there, I don't know, like Marcus said, you don't have a pulse, but get that pulse. Go out there. The United States, one thing I will end off saying, and this is something that was really talked about this weekend, and being from the United States, you know, if it's a shark, it's a shark. If it's a duck, it's a duck. We're lazy. As a whole, we're lazy. We are so privileged. We have so much here, from the stimulus checks to the unemployment checks to the PPP loans to the government, period. We have so much, but sometimes that's what's holding us back. See, some of us aren't trying to go to work or go run at this business because you got so much security. Well, in these other countries, they don't have that. They don't have that at all. Those people in Africa, they don't have that. They're fighting against their government in certain areas. We have so many opportunities and resources to go out there and be great. And some of us are selling it to be average. We're in a country that everybody that talked to me that heard that I was from the United States wanted to come to the United States. And they're just talking about this dream, this lifestyle. And I'm like, it's people in the United States that don't even understand their own value. You're playing small. We play small. They're on track for 40 new diamond agents to pop in Asia this month. How many in the United States has? We're playing small. We're playing small. As a whole, we're playing small. The world is laughing at us. Y'all, let's get to work. Let's go out there and be the best that we can be. Making a sacrifice to go to Dubai wasn't really a sacrifice. It was something I was supposed to do as a leader. It was something that I was supposed to do as a leader. If you looked at Dubai as a challenge, that's not. I paid less than some of the people that went there, and I had way more resources. The things that we think are so big really aren't. It's just in our mindsets. Dubai was a piece of cake to do. I paid more money to go on other trips. Like, we just got to change the way that we're thinking. We got to really realize that this can really change lives, not just for us, but for more and more people. You are directly responsible for the growth of someone else. And that's something Jared or Jada always stresses. You are directly responsible for the growth of someone else. You not getting to the event is stunting someone else's growth. Go out there and be great. That's my
child. God. Thank you, Jesus. Man, this has been an amazing, incredible call. You said so many things, and I'm over here like jotting notes. And one of the things that you said, you know, is just the sacrifice, the sacrifice that not only you made, but really just the sacrifice in the mindset that has to be made first, the decision that has to be made first, because the decision precedes you taking action, right? When you decide, it means you kill off all other options. And you just made a decision very early on that you were going to win no matter what, that you were going to win no matter who, that you were going to win no matter the circumstances, no matter who quit, no matter who doesn't, whatever. Like, you just made that decision. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If nobody has told you, your growth is incredible. And I literally have chills as I'm talking right now. You're not the same Dee from last year. You're not the same Delisea Powell. I'll tell you that. And I'm just excited to continue to see you rise, continue to just take life by the horns, and just continue to keep your foot on the next, all 2021 and beyond. Only in the absence of value is price ever an issue. You said, you know, there was people that were banned from going to the country. Somebody invested. And again, I always like to use my verbiage is important. And I think language is so important. And the better language that we utilize, the more that we are able to impact, but more than anything, the more that we're able to serve ourselves, right? Because there's no voice as powerful as your own when you're talking to you, And you said somebody invested $6,000. See, somebody on this call right now was like, they didn't invest $6,000. She spent $6,000. And it's a difference in the verbiage that is going to take a difference in your mindset, that will therefore take a difference in your actions, and that will therefore take a difference in the quality of life and the results and the success that you possess and the success that you're able to bless others with. But are you looking at this next event as an expense, or are you looking at it as an investment? There is very, very different. It's a huge difference. And remember, only in the absence of value is price an issue. Are your dreams valuable? Are your goals valuable? Are your business endeavors, what you want, valuable? Is your purpose here on earth valuable? See, I will never tell anybody that network marketing is your purpose. I will never tell anybody that the business is your purpose. Money is your purpose. No. However, it allows you to find your purpose, whether it is to serve, whether it is to impact, whether it is to show people that you can live full out, whatever that may be. Understand that you have something in your hands right now that will help you find that and more. But are you showing up so that you can show out? Are you making yourself available? It's funny you mentioned Jared's name, and when you said, you know, I just had to be in the room, I did not take out of my head from Elevate, which was our first national event. And again, I was going through the craziest of times, and Delisea flew into my mom's celebration. And you saw how I was just distraught, and I was just like, I was even on the verge. And I know you're probably like listening to me that night, and you're like, who is this girl? This is not the girl that I know. But I was just so broken, and I was just so distraught that I was like, I was thinking of not even going to Elevate. And I am so grateful that I had people around me like you, like Josh and Kia Valentine, like Hadiatu, like Darren, like Peso, like JAON, that were like, you got to be in the room. You just have to be there. Whatever it is, you just need to be there. And I saw our team just going in. And I was just like, all right, I got to go off. And I was like, all right, we got to walk stage because there's only going to be a first time. There's only going to be a first elevate. Right. And something that I heard that resonated with me was when Jared Ojeda and Kamitsi was like, but Jared was like, I had to do what I had to do so we could be in the room. And that stuck with me. And as soon as I left Elevate, it was like, that did it for me. That's why I went and hit platinum the 2 days after Elevate, the day after Elevate. That's why we just qualified for this event in Isaac's house. Like we're doing what it takes to be in the room. Do what it takes to be in the room. Do what it takes to be in the room, because I promise you, the more that you do what it takes to be in the room, the more room you're going to make for other people to show up and show out. The more room you're going to make in your life to bless other people. You are a blessing, so you could be a blessing to others. Do not get it twisted. Do not get it messed up. I don't care if you're a blue diamond. I don't care if you're a qualified active agent. Like, you have a purpose. You have a voice that needs to be heard, and do what it takes to get in the room. So Delisea, that is my time. I want you to just close this call out, Queen. Thank you so much for being here, and whatever it is on your heart that you want to leave the people with, go on, Queen. Blessings. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you again so much, Pam. And you shared so many nuggets yourself. Then one of the things I definitely want to highlight, for anybody that missed it, Pamela Pacheco is way more than a platinum agent. She's way more than a powerful female. Like, she is a true child of God. And, like I said, I don't press my beliefs off on anyone, but that is one powerful position to have. Being a child of God, your words influence differently. She is, I tell her all the time, she's the queen of analogies. But it's natural. And it's because of who is within her. And one thing I will tell you, Pam, despite all of the things that you thought that I thought, I never for 1 second doubted your strength, because Lord knows I've watched you for years now. And, like she said, to become from a mentor to a friend to a sister, it's because of your spirit. It's because of how God is leading you. And I know if God is leading you, if I stay in the neighborhood, he's going to continue to lead me. So thank you for being who you are. Thank you for making the sacrifices. There's a lot of people that would made a lot of excuses as to why they couldn't do it. And to be honest, the excuses would have been okay to make, but you're not an okay person. You're not an average person. So thank you for being who you are. Thank you for keeping these platforms going, because it was cause like this that I could plug into, that gave me the help that I needed every morning, the strength that I needed as well. And, I definitely want to just kind of lead off on this. Knowledge is power, and the lack of knowledge is powerless. Like, knowledge is power, but the lack of power is the lack of knowledge is powerless. And I say that because when I first got started in this business, they used to tell me a lot of things that I needed to do, but I thought that I had all I needed I thought I had it all for myself. I went to school, I got good grades. To a lot of people's, to a lot of people's thought system, I was doing a really, really good job in life. But totally honestly, I wasn't. I was struggling in so many aspects of my life, as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, as a human being, as a child of God. Like, I was struggling. And, throughout this training system that we have, I've grown up a lot, because I just see it and want more. There's so many obstacles that has came into my life, and I tell you that they weren't the easiest. But one thing I do tell you is that staying around people that have the right energy, that genuinely have your back. You won't be able to talk to everybody. Shout out to my biggest mentors, and I know they're on this line, Tony and Bree Smith. Like, they have been the foundation of my growth. And I say that with so much in me, because, I had never had like big brothers and big sisters like really show me the way. And they were two of the most inspiring people to come into my life through this organization for multiple reasons. They were military. They were a couple. They loved each other. Their values were just different. I came into this business struggling in multiple ways personally. That was bleeding off into my business, believe it or not. Your personal thoughts, your personal problems sometimes if you're not able to cope with those things, like they can bleed off into your business. So there was a lot of things that I struggled with that they brought a lot of clarity to. So when Pam mentioned the fact of, the reasons behind training, like I can't tell you guys enough, like it changed everything in me. And, I brought about the idea of knowledge. I've been reading more. That was something that I never really cared to do when I got into this business, but I started reading more and I started falling in love with reading. And, sometimes when you do things against your will, you kind of don't want to do it. And in the beginning, I was forced to read. But when I started to actually read books and enjoy them, it changed my life. So there's one book that I'm reading, and I just actually finished the book. It's called Self-Leadership and the 1-Minute Manager. Who the author is multiple ones on that. You have to go Google that for yourself. But it's Self-Leadership and the 1-Minute Manager. And in chapter 4 of this book, it talked about so many different things, but this is something that I made a note of. And as I was strolling through my notes, like, what do I want to leave this call with? It says, when you don't know what to do, sometimes it's great to go out and do what you love to get an open mind. And the things that I wrote was go ride a bike, go take a trip to Dubai, go achieve trainer school. And this is before I actually got to trainer school. And the next point was, a lot of people think that there is only one kind of power, and that's the position of power. And if you don't have it, then you're a puppet to those who do. But that's not true. Pam mentioned the fact of you guys that aren't in the room just yet. Your power is just as relevant as someone that is. It was someone else's power that gave me the ability to go out there and really push to go be great. And I'll tell you, if you're on the line, I'm not talking to the people that's platinum and above, because you're already in the room. You already get the idea. I'm talking to the people that have not arrived in the level that you think that you need to be in just yet. Your position of power is your strength. Your position of power is who you are. It's not always about money or status or taking these big fancy trips or traveling the world. Like it's you. It starts with you. We need more silver agents. We need more bronze agents. We need more gold agents. We need more quality. Like we need everybody. The people at the top aren't at the top because everybody's at the top. It was somebody at the bottom that made a decision to get to the top. And you may not have arrived just yet. You may not be in that position just yet that you want to be, but go be the best you. Because it's somebody like me who's listening and looking. I met a young lady, she's 18 years old from Botswana this past weekend. And I was so inspired because she was 18 years old making a sacrifice to come to Dubai to change her life. At the age of 18, she's a bronze agent. Let me run that back. She's from Botswana, you guys. 18 years old. She made a sacrifice. I told her the same thing, Pam, the next female Sasha. And when I was talking to her, it was just like I was talking to me. And I'm like, this girl is 18 years old. I'm 33 years young. She has the confidence of a 33-year-old. It's not about your rank. It's not about what status someone sees you at. It's not because of the lack of who someone sees you at. It's because of how you see yourself. And one thing, if you don't borrow from me, you borrow this. I am powerful. I am female. I am a strong African-American woman. I am a mother of one. I am a blessing to this world. And nobody but God can take that from me. So go be the best you. Despite who someone else is or what people say about you, go be the best you, because at the end of the day, the only person that matters to judge you is God, and everything else will fall in place. So this has been your Breakfast Club call for May 27, 2007. Rest in peace, Satori Richardson. I love you to death. And y'all go be the best you. Thank you so much, Pam, for having me on this call. Thank y'all for being great.
Yes, honey. Breakfast has been served, y'all. Blessings on blessings. Let's go get it.